how do you verify if a title is legitimate? Now, if it's real and not a fake title. Okay. Hi, this is Ronald Kagape, and this is our topic, in today's deal maker session. Now, it's very important that you learn how to verify if a title is legitimate, so to avoid getting scammed. All right. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to uh, do due diligence on a title. Well, the biggest thing that you can do is to verify with the Registry of Deeds. Of course, your initial due diligence, the seller will not hand over the title to you. They may give you a photocopy of the title, and what you do, you bring that photocopy to the Registry of Deeds and you ask to have a certified true copy printed. Now, some Registry of Deeds would probably take 3 days, to have that printed. So you just request that, and then you will come back to pick it up. And once you have that certified true copy, you bring that, before you give your earnest money, right? Before you give an earnest money or your first down payment to the seller, you bring the certified true copy, you ask for the seller's original title, and then you compare. So when you compare, everything should be an exact replica. All the typos, any errors. If there are errors on the titles, the errors should be the same. The people who are signing, the signatures should be the same. So everything should be it should be an exact replica. Okay, then there are also things that you can do to verify the title itself. Okay, so the title is made from special fiber paper. Okay, so it's not your ordinary cartolina, right? It's almost like the texture of the paper is almost similar to that of a check, right? Of a check. The paper for the titles, comes from the BSP, the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. So it's special paper. It's 50% chemical pulp and 50% wood pulp. So it's a special combination with fibers, mixed in, and these special fibers actually can glow. If you run a UV light over them, yeah, the fibers will actually glow. So it's special. You can actually see. You should be able to see the colored fibers, on the paper, right? Then there's also some special security marks. The notable security marks are, when you hold it against the light, there is a watermark. It stands for the LRA, right? And then there are, the printing of the actual the designs, the border is actually specially printed. Now it's embossed and it's not smoothly printed over. You can run your fingers over the borders and you will feel a texture. Okay, so it's not a flat printing. Okay, and then there is a seal. There is a red seal, and that seal, should not blot when you moist your hands or put a drop of water on the seal. So those are the things that you can do, to check the authenticity of the title. Now you also want to verify the identities of the seller. So make sure that you ask for 2 government IDs, right? Preferably a passport, because these will be used, when you notarize your documents anyway. So it's just normal to ask for 2 government IDs. Now I know that these IDs can be, faked, or it can be uh, they can be faked. So what you need to do is you also want to verify the identities, and you ask the neighbors if they are who they say they are, and you can also verify ownership with the tax declaration. That's a secondary document. Ask for a copy of the tax deck and the tax receipts. If they're really the owners, then they should be paying the tax receipts. Right? So if they cannot provide a copy of the tax declaration and of the tax receipts, then something is off. Okay? and make sure that the names on both are the same. Okay. And you can also verify the ownership of the property in the association, if it is a condominium or if it is a subdivision property, right? Subdivision lot. So those are things that you can do, to verify the title and to verify the seller. Now you need to be careful with the paperwork in real estate because millions of pesos are involved, a lot of money is involved. So you need to do, reasonable due diligence when before you commit yourself, before you invest your money. Okay. Finally, if you are really not very comfortable with the person that you're dealing with, as a last resort, you can put the transaction in escrow. What this means is there will be a third party, like a bank. Usually, you can get escrow services from a bank. So what you will do as the buyer is you will deposit your payment to the bank, and that deposit will be held by the bank to assure the seller that you already have the money. All right, and now what the seller will do is the seller will hand over, the title to you, or they could already initiate the process of transferring the title, right? And once the title is transferred to your name and the tax deck is transferred to your name, they submit those papers to the bank, and then the bank will say, okay, both of you have already fulfilled the agreement, the escrow agreement. So now the bank will release the title to you, the buyer, and then the money will be released to the seller. Right, so that's one way for you to protect yourself. In case you don't fully trust, the seller. Right, so these are things that you can do, to verify the authenticity of a title, verify the identity of the seller, and finally a last resort to make sure that everything is in order and to protect yourself, from any legal risks. So if you like this video, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the Dealmaker channel, where I give you real estate tips on a regular basis. Alright, so again, this is Ronald Kagape. I'm the author of the book No Money Down Formula in Real Estate, and I encourage you, to make deals and grow rich.